Hey everyone, welcome to day 11 of Fast Money. Today we're talking about stewardship. I'm really excited to talk about this. This is a second recording of the first initial live video because I wasn't very satisfied with the way that went. I feel like I should have went more in depth and probably gave more examples and probably showed you guys mine. But because the thing is, when it comes to like bank statements and everything, I don't want to be in anyone's business. But realistically, I could just show you guys mine or plug in some fake numbers. So I'm just gonna do that. And so everyone who was in the previous live recording, I'm going to send you a link to this one so that you could watch it and then maybe get more of an in-depth tutorial on how to do it. So, day 11, stewardship, we're coming out of Proverbs 27. Verse 23 to 24, be sure to know the condition of your flocks. Give careful attention to your herds, for riches do not endure forever, and a crown is not secure for all generations. As we know in scripture, it says right here that riches do not endure forever. And so that's why it's so important to know the condition of our flocks. And so, yes, as we know in scripture, the flocks were the camels and, the chickens and the goats and all these animals. But our flocks would be our currency. The currency then is the same as the currency now, except we no longer have animals. So it's just it's a different way to look at it, but it's still the same thing. We must know the condition of our flocks. We must know the condition of our finances in order to know where all these things are going to go. We need to know where money is going right now so that we can decide where it's going to go, if that makes sense. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to share my screen. Oop, okay. Yeah, I was editing it because I didn't like how it looked before. So this is what we're looking at. So this is our stewardship plan. So the spending wisely plan, we're going to go into depth more of it on day 4 when we actually talk about budgeting and stuff like that. But right now, the spending wisely plan is essentially our kind of like our framework in order to account for all of our finances. Okay? So as you see right here, the months, it's going to show you guys how to use it. So, and I'm going to send the links to the people that were part of the live. And as for the plan itself, it's going to be on the website karmelyann.com. I'm going to put it as the second link. So if you are not part of the live, but you're on YouTube, you'll be able to get it there and then duplicate it and then use it for your own personal use. So what we would do is use our bank statements from the last 2 months or from last month and just see where all of our money is going. So we're going to take all of our total inflow, whether we got money from our jobs, our businesses, or any form of e-transfers or Zelle, whatever the case may be. We just total all that and then put it in December, right? Then after that, we're going to take our utilities, or sorry, we're going to take out all of the cash out. The cash out is anywhere our money went last month. So let's say we spent $1,500 on rent and utilities. Then we spent maybe $50 on our gym membership. The point is, there are specific expenses that are fixed. Fixed expenses for you might be your rent, it might be your gym, your phone bill, it might be subscriptions, your school loan payments, it might be investments, whatever the case may be. Those ones you could put in there. And then, but I want all of us to watch for the expenses that fluctuate. Usually that's going to be your fund money. So sometimes I want all of us to bunch. You can add more categories as you please. So if you have like a car note and whatever case may be, just go on Google Sheets and just add another category. It's completely up to you and your design. But I wanted to just quickly mention when it comes to fund money. Your fund money, for me personally, fund money is like going out to eat or just putting money aside for traveling. That would be considered fund money. If whatever you use your leisure, your spending money, whether it's shopping, whatever it is, it will go under the category of fund money. Before we make a budget for that, we just need to total how much there is. So it's okay if the numbers are high or if they look a little bit crazy right now, or just because we need to find out where our money is going first before we go into January and February and March and April and so on and so forth. I like to do this at the end of the month. Usually at the end of the month, I'll have a gathering of all my expenses. I like to use Coho for this, and I can't wait to get into this. We're gonna get into this into day 4 on day 14 or day 4 because technically it started all over again. The 10 days started all over again. But basically Yes, we're gonna get into it at a later date, but it would be able to show you where each of your money and how much each money is going, the amount of money that is going towards any form of categories that you may have created yourself. So, just to give you an example, yeah, so groceries. Let's say you spent 500 on groceries in December, right? In the future, which is what we will talk about on day 4 when we make our spending wisely plan, we're gonna be like, okay, maybe I can spend how much should I decrease my spending on? And then we might create a budget in January for 350. And then after that, I can't, well, we're gonna get into it. Basically, it's gonna create basically an envelope. So each of these categories at the side are gonna have their own, sorry, are gonna have their own envelopes right here, right? So your budget's gonna be, might be 250 for the groceries, and then on in the month of January, you may have spent 200, which means you have $50 left. And we're gonna get into this more on day 4. I don't want to confuse anyone right now, but the point of what I'm trying to get at is right now, today, all we are doing is just counting all of our money for the last month and finding out where all of our money went, concerning all of the categories on the side and adding any categories that we need to add. So I don't want to confuse anybody. I don't want to say too much because we're going to get into it as the days progress. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about debt. And I'm excited to talk about that because that's something I struggled with. And also, mind you, when we are doing this today as well, I want you guys to go into your credit card. I know it's uncomfortable. We hate doing this, but it's actually necessary when it comes to money. That's something I had to learn. We have to know the condition of our flocks. We need to know where our money is going. So go into your credit card statements, find out if you spent money on the gym or if you maybe spent fun money when you like in your credit card as well, right? So account for all those things, total all those things, okay? Because we're going to be making our budgets based on that and how much we actually make. Okay. So it's going to be awesome. And I'm excited to help you guys out. And if there's anything, any other questions, I can't wait to answer all those questions. And of course, if there's any questions concerning this video tomorrow, we will go through it tomorrow as well, because tomorrow we're talking about debt. So this is something that should be done by the 14th. So on day 4, when we talk about budgeting. For now, it's just letting you know. So just start working on it. You have until the 14th, because on the 14th is when we actually create the little envelopes and we end up making the plans and everything of that sort. Okay. So I hope this makes sense. But if that's it, thank you guys so much and bye. See you tomorrow.